Hey everybody, this is the first in a series of videos I intend to make, just some little cooking demonstrations. What we're going to do here today, I picked out something really simple, something basic. A lot of people know how to cook it, but anyways, this is my version of it, and this deer chili. And actually what we're going to do, since I didn't want to use all my deer meat, I've got some ground beef too to go with it. You see, and for you deer skeptics, just have a look. You can see the difference in the deer and ground beef. It's not as much fat content. Guarantee you eat this, you'll never know the difference. Plus, like I say, you got your mix here of deer and ground beef. So what I have, this is just a little over half of a very large size onion cut up. If you got a smaller onion, probably cut the whole thing up. Be perfect. Got 3 pods of garlic here. Best way to do these, just take your knife, just like that. Okay, like that. Smash those pods of garlic. Makes them easier to chop. And you don't have to chop garlic real fine, not at all. So come in there and you chop that garlic up. Okay, like that. Put this out the way over here. Roll it in with your onions. Mix it in. Over here, I got some extra virgin olive oil. Already heating up in the skillet. Come in with your garlic and your onions. Get them in that hot oil. Cut this down a little bit. You get them in that hot oil cooking. Now remember, garlic will burn quick in a hurry. So, you gotta watch it. You just want to get those onions translucent. That's it. That's all you want to do. Translucent, because you remember that they're going to cook in with your sauce and your meat and everything while it's cooking. So you don't want to cook them too long. Put that down a little bit more. And we'll let those saute translucency just a minute. What I've got here, I got some seasoning already mixed up. Now bear in mind, I'm making a pretty good sized pot of chili here, so I could come back later on, I probably will, and add some more things to it. But it's always nice to go ahead and have your spices and seasonings all mixed up. That way you get a good mix of everything while you're doing it. What we got here, I got a tablespoon of Zatarans. So if you're familiar with Zatarans, a tablespoon of garlic powder. Just find that right here. 2 tablespoons of chili powder to start with. Everybody familiar with that? Tablespoon of cumin, ground cumin. It's a Mexican spice. And we got a teaspoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, so we got all that mixed up. Let's check our onions and garlic over here. And it's looking good. Smelling good too. They're almost ready. So once that gets done, we're going to put in our meats. Our deer and our ground beef. Now you can get, a lot of you may be familiar with your chili meat, which is a coarse ground meat. I prefer a finer ground beef and a finer ground deer. That's just personal preference. If you're going to use deer, your deer butcher can cut it coarse for you. If you like it coarse, if not, you may be like me and you like it just like this. So let's look. We're almost ready. We're ready. So it doesn't take long at all on those onions. Let's go ahead and get our meat in. Go ahead and throw in the deer. And let's get the ground beef in there. The towel here, wipe my hands with. So we got that in there. Let's kind of mix them together. Get your deer and your ground beef mixed together, and your onions and your garlic. And we'll raise our heat up a little. Okay. Now we got our onions and our garlic. We got our two meats in there, our deer and our ground beef. Now, what I like to do is go ahead and season that meat while it's cooking. Get that seasoning in there. Kind of shake it over your meat. Stir that around. Get it in there. Mix it in good. Okay. Probably take 3 times to do this. Mix it in good again. And one more time. Alright. Look. So, let's go back and do it again. You got your diced onions, chopped, diced, however you want to call it. About a whole small onion or a little over a half of a very large onion. 3 cloves of garlic. You got your seed, you got your outer range, your garlic powder, your cumin, paprika, chili powder, and black pepper. Let your meats cook. Now remember, deer does not have to cook as long as beef and pork. It's leaner, not as much fat content, but it doesn't have to cook as long. It'll dry out. So you want to shave just a little bit off your normal cooking time on your meats than you would if you were just using straight ground beef. So what we'll do, we'll let that color, and you know when meat starts changing color, when ground beef, pork, deer, they start changing color. We'll let that change in color happen out of there, and then we'll come back and we'll put in our other stuff. So let's let that cook 10 minutes tops, and then we can come back with our other stuff. All right.
Oh, and it's also said he's gained 1.3 pounds.